Hey, hi. Welcome back to Prepping with Sarge. Well, in the preparedness community, there are three topics that will get preppers kind of excited for a little fun discussion. The robot uprising, the zombie apocalypse, and the alien invasion. So we're going to have a little bit of fun today. I am out at the Ashley River again today. So this is YouTube channel Prepping with Sarge. If you're tuning in late, or if you're catching the recap, I appreciate you having you here. I talk about all things preparedness, wilderness survival. It's all good. Good to see you. Financial preparedness. Do some gardening for food self-sufficiency. Urban homestead. And occasionally we throw out some fun topics like the zombie apocalypse. But today, my friends, we're going to talk about the leaked Navy footage. Now, if you haven't been if you don't watch the news, I'm not joking. There really is some leaked Navy UFO footage. You can look that up as soon as you're done with my live stream. Go to Google and search it. All the major stations are talking about it. The question is, what is it, right? Like, so there's actually a couple different video clips that you can see. But that's what I kind of want to open up for discussion today. So if you're tuning in, just curious, I'm pretty open-minded about this stuff. Let me know in the comments what you think it is, and I will certainly give you my opinion on this. But it's not like my opinion is, the right one or like that you have to agree with me or anything like that. And in fact, I think today what we're going to do is apply Occam's razor to this, right? So we're going to look at, see if we can come up with together all the different possible explanations for what this could be. And Occam's razor says when you're trying to figure out what's going on, you combine all the different possibilities for what to explain something. The simplest explanation is usually the correct one. Trying to see if I got any gators out here today. I haven't seen any. I saw a turtle on the walk in, but there's something down there. Let me see if I don't think the camera's going to get it. On the right shoulder there. Let's see if I put my right shoulder right on it. See that? Right where my shoulder is at. But it could be just a log. It's not moving, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it moves. Water's a little high today. Current is pretty minimal. Very, very hot here in South Carolina. It's getting close to the point where these outdoor lunch chats are going to be harder and harder to do. I'm going to have to think about maybe broadcasting out of the car as we get a little further into the summer. I went and scouted a new location yesterday, which is really cool. Found some game trails and stuff like that. So I'm going to do some footage on that. And but it was 94 degrees yesterday. Hey, Bacon. Yeah, so that's one of the explanations. Distraction. We're gonna talk about that as one of the explanations. So this trail that I found yesterday was really cool. Well, I didn't find it. It's not mine. I just had never been on it before. But I'll take you down there. It's I didn't get all the way to the end because I actually ran out of time on my lunch break and I had to hustle back. But man, it's getting hot to do this. So I figured I'd come up by the water here today and hope for a little breeze and kind of break it up a little bit. So just a reminder, if you're one of my regular viewers, I am doing a giveaway for. I have one of these Wazoo survival gear foraging bandanas, and that is going to be, I'm going to be giving it away in one of the live streams between now and May 31st. Well, we're getting near the end of the month, right? So obviously it's coming up. Do not have to be subscribed. You do not have to like my channel. You can dislike my channel. You don't have to put any fancy comments. All I'm going to tell you is that's going to be in one of the live streams between now and the end of the month. You have to be over 18. It is not affiliated with YouTube. They're not responsible for this in any capacity. And I will only ship to the United States or Canada. Okay. And then by United States, I mean continental United States. So I apologize for that. It's a shipping logistic that it's actually going to cost me way too much money. I know I have some audience in India and Indonesia. I got audience in Brazil, Australia. It's too expensive. I'm sorry, guys. But there'll probably be more stuff coming because we're getting closer and closer to monetization. So I plan to do if I get approved for monetization, I plan to do a little celebration stream for that, and there'll be some goodies coming for that one as well. And again, you don't have to be subscribed to be eligible for that. So let's talk about this footage that leaked, and what exactly do you think is going on in there? Let's go. Let's break it down theory by theory. Okay, so theory number one is Bacon put it out there. What if this is just a distraction, right? Like, what if this footage isn't even real? Like, it's just put out as a news media distraction to kind of get people talking about something else. Pay attention to the right hand while the left hand is doing something, right? That's definitely plausible, and I think that kind of thing does sometimes happen. And if you guys, if I chime in on a theory that you all agree with, something swimming in the water over there. Hang on, let's see if it surfaces. I'll try to show you. I'll walk over this way a little bit and see if you can see it. If I chime in on a theory that you guys agree with, please feel free to comment. Or if you guys come up with something else, please feel free to comment. All right. I don't know if you guys can see. This time it's going to be over my left shoulder. I'll try to put my left shoulder right on it. There's some bubbling in the water there and a little bit of changes to the current. There's something down there, but who knows? Could be a big turtle. Let's go down this way a little bit. So theory number one is it's a distraction. Theory number two. Let's put it out there. Let's go roll the dice. What if it was aliens? Right? What if it was? What if it really was aliens? What if there was some kind of other species out there that had the ability to travel to our star and observe us, interact with us, maybe conquer us? That'd be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? And this point here is where I'm going to throw in my own personal biases on this. Now, you can count me among the people who would say, I want to believe, right? Like from, what was that, X-Files? I want to believe. Doesn't mean I necessarily believe, but I would like to. I think it would be kind of cool if we weren't the only species with a high degree of reasoning and intelligence and it can build and create and explore. I think that'd be pretty darn cool. But I grew up on Star Trek and Star Wars, and so that would be the ultimate fulfillment of fantasy for me. The realist in me says I'm not inclined to believe that unless I have really concrete proof in front of me. So what? Oh man, see, I move over here now. There's movement down there. Well, we'll just go back and forth. We'll see if we can catch something. I think that what's going to happen is as I go down there, whatever's moving down there is not gonna move. So, what do you think? All right, so let's say that. Let me back it up. Do I think that that life exists on other planets, somewhere else in our galaxy and in the universe? Yeah, I do. It's when you start to think about the math of it, right? Like the plausibility of that is definitely within reason. But I'm more inclined to believe that whatever kind of life there would be there, it would be something more along the lines of like oceanic life. Maybe there's some land dwelling life. Oceanic life is much more plausible. And then you have to think about the idea that what is the chances? Oh, he's throwing off a lot of smoke there. Check this out. I don't know, boat engines. You guys know what's going on there? What would cause that? Wow, look at this. What would cause that, y'all? Look at that. So, all right, so let's take that possibility, right, that there is life on other planets and other solar systems and things like that. Yeah, so that it could be something spiritual is another possible explanation. Let's come back to that one. I've heard that before. He's burning too much oil. Hey, digital prepper. Yeah, man, it stinks. Hey, Pilgrim Prepping, how you doing? So let's say that life did evolve on another planet somewhere else in the solar system, right? For it to be able to reach us, it would have probably had to. First of all, the typical Hollywood thing is like that it's humanoid looking. Humans evolved on this planet because of the conditions on this planet, right? Yeah, so distraction or misinformation is definitely a plausible explanation. I find that to be, for me personally, I'm not trying to put my opinions on anybody else. I find that to be more likely than the possibility than the possibility of it's an actual alien species, right? And I have other explanations that I think are even more plausible than that. 2.2. Oh, okay, all right. Well, yeah, he just did a darn good job of polluting the Ashley River, so I hope he's happy. Um, the man, gonna manage my emotions today. All right, so I need to encourage the idea of aliens. Just my opinion. Yeah. So the humans evolved on this planet because of the conditions on this planet, like our distance to the sun, our nitrogen oxygen mix, the magnetic sphere over our planet that protects us from solar storms. Yeah, the aliens are coming, Bullion addict. They're coming to take us over and enslave us and take our gold and silver, and experiment on our cows. Um, the so and humans, I will talk to the spiritual piece of this too. So please don't feel like I'm neglecting that. I'm actually Christian. I'm doing good, Austrian stacker. But right now I'm just kind of speaking to the Earth evolutionary part of it. So we evolved likely from primates, if you're going from the evolutionary theory. And that's just something that came about on this planet. We have the moon that protected us from a lot of meteors that would have hit Earth. We have Saturn and Venus that protected us from basically what would have been extinction level events because of the gravitational pull there. So the conditions of our solar system, our planet, our moon, our sun is what led to humans. So the idea to me, this is just me thinking, that a humanoid would develop elsewhere. I saw that tweet. Well, I'm going to say I could probably put a few more names on there. I don't think it's plausible. I don't think it's plausible that whatever life may exist out there, and I do believe it's very possible that life exists out there. I just don't think it's going to look like us. Yeah, we've had a couple close calls. We've probably had a ton of close calls in the history of humanity that we'll never know about, right? So, whatever life exists elsewhere in the universe, who knows what that looks like? It's going to have. Hey, Jessica, it would have evolved to the conditions of that planet and that solar system. So then you have to take. So let's say that that a species. No, I just don't see it. Now, there is another argument against that says form follows function, right? So why did humans evolve? Well, because we have opposable thumbs and we have a cerebral cortex that allows us to think and create and explore. So that, the theory on that side of it is that, of course, humanoid would develop because that would be the apex of that planet. It's just a theory. But then you also have to take into the probability that they can achieve not just spacefaring, but interstellar spacefaring before doing something that causes themselves to go extinct or having a planet extinction event. Yep, I agree with both of those. Going to get to that first part about what would happen if we actually did make contact. I agree with both of those points. So it's a race against the clock, and it is for you. Hey, Steve, appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Silver Scorpion. So it would be, for us to achieve interstellar capability, it's a race against the clock. It's a race against extinction level events. It's a race against the likelihood that we'll destroy ourselves at some point in the process, or a disease will destroy us. That all of that is much more likely than something like a mountain thrown into the sea. Yeah, I do remember that. The likelihood that we can get to that. Now, I do think we'll land on Mars eventually. I would hope that's in my lifetime. I would think that would be really cool to see that. But the likelihood that humans will survive to the point where we can reach, one of the close stars like Alpha Centauri, you're talking, unless something really magical happens, it would be hundreds, if not thousands of years to achieve that kind of breakthrough in physics, right? Just the physics piece of it. But who knows? I'm my realm is psychology, not physics. So I'm talking outside of my lane here. Yeah, there's something in the water over there, guys. When I went over there, it stopped moving, but there's definitely something in the water. I'll see if I can get it on my. Can you guys see that? Probably not, unfortunately. Could be just a big turtle. Who knows? So if okay, so let's say all of those probabilities, you know, we were able to meet that criteria and some kind of species, hey Bolo Bolo, was able to traverse the stars, was able to come here, what would they do, right? So they would either want to neutrally observe us, conquer us, or help us, right? Okay, let's go through those possibilities. Conquer us would be pretty easy if they have the capability to, if they would, if something like that existed and they had the capability to come here, any technology they had would far exceed what we can do, right? That's a no-brainer. It wouldn't be much of a fight. The best chance humans would have would be to go into hiding. So let's just assume that that is not. If that was going to happen, it probably would already happen. What if they came here neutrally to observe us? Okay, I could buy that as a possibility, right? So they may come neutrally, and what would they see? That we're a planet full of people that destroy our own planet, our homeworld, right? We just beat the crap out of our homeworld. We have no respect for the other species on the planet. We kill each other. We have no respect for somebody that looks a little bit different than us or has a different political ideology than us. Bacon. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. So what would they do? At best, they would observe us the way that we would observe an ant farm. Okay, that's my feeling on that. Would they interfere? Well, let's say that there is, let's go Star Trek with this, right? And that there's some kind of group of aliens out there that could travel among the stars. They would, in my opinion, we might say something like, you humans can exist and you can destroy each other or destroy your planet if you want, but if you try to leave the solar system, we're just going to stop you, right? Totally see something like that going down. And would they help us? Well, there's a lot of questions there. Why? Why would they help us? Why would they give us spacefaring technology or whatever if we haven't shown that we really deserve that? So they might observe, if they existed, they might observe us until we showed that we deserved that kind of help. Okay, I appreciate that. No problem. So all of those situations, I think, you kind of have to look at it. If they did somehow make contact with us, it would be really, really dangerous because think about just like a cultural mistake, right? We accidentally do something. Maybe in a culture that if touching your face is extremely offensive, we accidentally do something like that and cause a cultural problem. But even worse than that, we would have no immunities to whatever biology coexists with them, right? So we all, as humans, we have all these parasites that live on our bodies, and they would have no immunity to ours, presumably. Yeah, thank you, Silver Scorpion. All right, so let's kind of get off the aliens there for a minute. I thought that's just kind of all that stuff's kind of interesting to think about. What are, in my opinion, again, just my opinion, what are some of the other possibilities here? So we talked about distraction. Well, we have a hard time. Yeah, we can't even get along with our neighbors, right? We can't, let alone the country next door to us or whatever. What makes us think that we'd be able to get along with Mr. Spock? It's almost impossible. And I mean, one could say it's in our nature to be destructive and violent. Um, maybe that's a video for another day. But let's go. Let's switch it up a little bit here. And by the way, if you've been enjoying this content, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And if you guys have anything that's coming up that you want to plug, go ahead and plug it in the comments. I do encourage everybody in my audience to please support each other and check out each other's channels. There's always great content that comes out of these live streams. A lot of just about everybody here that comes in has their own channel. So please feel free to plug your channel. All right, let's go on to the next part. So what do I think is the most likely situation here? Well, let me rule out two other possibilities. Number one, the mind's playing tricks on a person, right? So in these situations here of the footage, I don't think that's the case because you would be talking about the biggest mass hallucination in the history of humans. But for other situations, when a person says, like, I saw a UFO or I saw an alien or had an encounter with an alien. You know, it's the human mind plays tricks on us all the time. There's thousands of studies in psychology on this, and you probably have had some personal experience where you war the worlds you might not fight back, but our germs. Yeah, yeah. The biological risks of it is huge. Um, you probably have had some experience in your own life where you had some kind of thing happen and you said, "Hey, this is what I saw," and somebody else who was with you saw or heard something entirely different. My wife and I have conversations about stuff all the time where she says, "You said this. You said you wanted to go watch this movie," and I said, "No, I never said that." And she said, "No, I insist that you did. I heard it." You know, I mean, that's how our memory is faulty. Project Bluebeam, I know what that is. Yep. Great prep videos. Check her out. Thank you for the plugs there for other people. Yeah, Project Bluebeam should probably be its own stream too. That's some pretty interesting stuff that they can do, and there is evidence that that technology does exist. There's been, you know, you can call it, you know, people. A doubter may say, "Well, that was a mass hallucination." Well, it was sure was a lot of people who had those mass hallucinations. Um, In fact, if you want to check that out afterwards, go. I hope the video is still up. There was a guy in Boston who was driving, and he stops his car basically on a highway and takes footage of the sky. And there's some really funky stuff going on in there that I've shown to people who are meteorologists, and they can't explain it. I've shown to pilots. I know a couple pilots, and they're like, "I have no idea what that is." It's really interesting. And he got it on footage. So look for Boston, keywords Boston Project Bluebeam, I think, something like that. And or Boston Highway Sky, something like that. It should come up for you. Yeah, yeah, you could assume that too, that they would have their own technology that would be able to protect them. They'd be in better shape than we would be, I would think. All right, so let's rule out that this was probably not a mass hallucination. We said misinformation and disinformation is possible. We said aliens is less likely, right? So I'm going to go with the next option that comes up for me would be this is Earth technology that people have footage of. That I'm just going to move down here. We're getting a little crowded on this end. So I think this is Earth technology, and there's a couple possibilities. This could be that Russia or another superpower state has some drones that are way more advanced than we, the public, know about. It's possible that people in the government and the military know about it, but we in the public don't. Um, or I'm going to throw this out there too, that it's actually U.S. technology, and that just because pilots saw it and didn't know what it was doesn't mean it wasn't U.S. technology. In other words, they might have been, one branch is throwing up this technology to send close to the pilots, and maybe a couple people are aware of the test of what's happening to pilot reaction and how do the instruments pick it up and that kind of stuff. And but the pilot doesn't know, right? And so I think that's a very high likelihood too. So a few years back, Iran actually captured one of our unmanned drones, and you can look this up. You can Google this one too. U.S. secret stuff. I think that's what I lean towards as the most plausible explanation, right? Because far be it for our government to test something out and not tell some of the subjects they're being tested, right? And maybe all that data they were collecting was how do the pilots respond to this? I agree with that, Sarge. I think it's be careful what I say here. From people that I've talked to, the stuff that you see on the news when they show footage of what's going on in Iraq and Afghanistan, that there is more advanced stuff than that they're not showing us. Hey, Silver Conundrum, so good to see you. Silver Conundrum's got some, if you guys follow him on Instagram, he's got some bars for sale at really good price, 10-ounce silver bars, so check that out. Billy, it's good to see you. Yeah, Billy, we were talking about the possibility that this is a distraction for something else that's going on or is about to happen, right? To just kind of get people talking about this. And I think, we're talking about it, a prepping community and my audience, because we find it kind of interesting. I don't hear my coworkers talking about this. Only if they wear masks. So whatever they're doing, they're going to have to amp it up if they want to get people's attention, because it's getting like a little 15-minute segment on the news and that's it. But if it was U.S. technology and they're testing, maybe they just want to see what the pilot's reaction is. Maybe they want to see what the plane's instruments are able to pick up. Maybe they want to test, this is an intentional leak, right? Like intentional leaks happen, especially at Hollywood. Like, so if you hear about movie footage that was leaked, 9 out of 10 times, I believe that that's intentional leak to drum up buzz for the movie, right? And I would think that, you could, if you were a government, you could leak some stuff for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason, to see how people respond to this, to see if it can distract, whatever. So when we apply Occam's razor to all of this, what are the chances that it was actually aliens, like spacefaring aliens that came here? So as far as robotics go, I'd like to do another stream about that one day. Check out the stuff that Boston Dynamics is doing. I mean, their robots are amazing, and so you take the physical capabilities of, yep, yeah, you're right, you're right. They'll take the physical. So imagine if you take the physical capabilities of like a robot from Boston Dynamics and apply, the most advanced AI that that exists out there, which we probably don't know about yet. That Hanson Robotics Sophia is pretty interesting, but she has like cookie cutter responses to stuff. So, oh, there's zombies. Oh, there's zombies for sure. I've met some. There are zombies. Uh, that's no doubt. It's just not what people think. Overnight too. Maybe like Rona the aliens. Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, so I lost my train of thought here, guys. That's okay. It's okay. So, what is the possibility that it's aliens? It's probably, when you apply Occam's razor, and that's like the least likely. As much as I would like that to be true, because I think it would be really really cool. The simplest to me, yeah, that's I would love to know some of that stuff. The simplest explanation is probably U.S. tech, and the pilots didn't know what it was, right? For whatever reason. For whatever reason. Um, could it be something that Russia or another superpower has? Yeah, definitely. It definitely could be, and that's another simple explanation. Looking down at their iPhones. Well, that counts me among the zombies most of the time. All right, I do have to start to wrap this up, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you have anything you want to plug now, please go ahead. Tell everybody in the chat what's going on with your channel, and please remember to check out each other's channels. I really appreciate you. Don't forget, I also have, just one more time, what's up my sleeve, or look at my right hand, look at my left. So I am doing a giveaway in one of my live streams between now and May 31st. I have another one of these Wazoo foraging bandanas, and these are a prototype, by the way. I'll check this out. We'll see if he goes fishing. Can you see him? He looked like he was going to dive for a fish. Sorry. So it's a prototype. So you actually can't get that on the Wazoo store yet. They're actually doing some testing with it. So I think it'd be cool if it becomes available, because I've been using it and I like it so far. They sent me two. So one is going out to my audience. It will be in one of my live streams between now and the end of the month, which is coming very, very soon. Don't have to subscribe, don't have to comment, don't have to like for it. It's just, one of those things that will be out there. Go out this way. Wazoo, Wazoo, Wazoo Survival Gear makes it. And I'll be doing some stuff later on too. I'm getting closer to monetization. Right now I'm at about 20. As of this morning, I was at 2,900 hours. So I need like 1,100 hours left. Yeah, I think it has gone back to that compartmentalization that existed pre 9/11, and that's scary. That's not good. And that's it. So I'm going to be streaming again Friday night. So I love their gear, man. It's awesome. I've got several things. I've got their whetstone for sharpening. I've got the fire starter. I've got the cap, which I'm going to do some videos on the cap. They have really, really cool products. I appreciate everybody. I hope you all have a great Tuesday. It's about time for me to get back to the office, so they'll start paging for me and saying, "Where did I go?" Keep planting your seeds. Keep stacking your silver. Watch out for the aliens. This is Prepping with Sarge.